So now that we have our stuffing and we're gonna start stuffing the vegetables, I'm just getting the onions prepared. So basically what I did here, I cut through the middle, not all the way through, and I'm gonna just let it boil, and that way we can easily shell the layers of the onions and stuff each layer. So here's an example of what I did. So this is the onion, and basically what I did is I just kind of, you know, with your knife, find the middle point. It doesn't really have to be perfect, and I'm just gonna kind of dig through there. Be careful, don't go all the way through, because then you'll just have onion cut in half. So not all the way. So this is pretty much where there's like a little opening, and then I'm just gonna put it in my water, wait for that to boil, and then when it boils and it cools off, you can easily shell the onions layer by layer. I also have about 6 pieces of stew meat. It's beef that is boiling right here, and the reason why I'm doing this is when I make the dolma, I'm going to put this between the vegetables, so between the layers of the vegetables in the pot, to give it extra flavor. Okay, so now we're going to start stuffing the vegetables. I'm going to start with the grape leaves. So usually you put the shiny side down, and then this part we don't need, so we're just going to take it out. Add the stuffing. You don't want to overstuff it too much. Okay, so I put it right here from this edge that's nearest to you, and then you're gonna cover it and roll it. As you roll, you're gonna tuck in the 2 sides. Don't worry if it's not perfect. If it comes apart, it's okay. And it should look like this. And I'm gonna layer it. I already have some. Remember, I put the potatoes on the bottom so this doesn't burn. And I'm just gonna layer it around. So let me show you how to do the onions. Basically, I boiled this, so now I shell them very gently, very carefully, so it doesn't. Let's try another one. Okay, so usually the outer one is gonna fall apart, so you can still use it, but it's the very thin one. Okay, and then you're gonna take out each layer just like that, go around, and it should look like this. And then I'm gonna put my stuffing again just to fill it, and then close it. When you close it and you stack them all together, it's not really gonna fall or come out, so you can just start putting them one after the other, layering them. Let's do the tomato so I can show you. Okay, so this is my tomato. Remember, I keep the lid so I can later cover it with it so that mix doesn't come out. Basically, you just take your mix and you stuff it just like that, and push it. You don't want to push it down with your spoon so it goes all the way to the bottom, and then you close it. So that's a tomato. Let's do the green pepper. Same process. I'm going to take the stuffing, fill in the green pepper. This is also based on preference. If you don't like green peppers, you don't have to use them. So there we go. And then close it. And I'm just gonna keep doing that. What I usually do is I put all the grape leaves first, and then I start layering the onions on top, and then I put the tomatoes and the green pepper last. And in between those, I'll put these, the green fava beans, and I also have a few pieces of meat that I cooked. And you just kind of rotate, layer it all. This goes between each layer. And I'll finish the rest and I'll show you the result. so this is our pot of all the vegetables that we stuffed. I have the potatoes on the very bottom, then the grape leaves, onions, and then I finished it with 2 tomatoes and 2 green pepper with the fava beans in between, as well as the pieces of meat. So now I have it on high, and I made a mix. I used the water from the meat, so the broth from the meat, and also the water from the onion when I boiled the onion. So I have those 2 kinds of water just to give it flavor. And I added lemon juice, whatever I had left, just, you know, a hint. And I also added a little bit of salt, as well as tomato paste. And then I just, and oil also, about maybe 2 tablespoons vegetable oil, and I mixed it, mix. And then what I'm going to do now is pour this whole mix all over the pot. So make sure soak everything. Since my pot is the pot that I'm using is I filled it all the way to the top, so I mean, it's okay as long as you can close the lid. So now I think that's enough. Make sure that you push everything down. So basically I pushed everything down and I tucked everything so it kind of stays and doesn't unravel. So I'm going to add a little bit more water here. Okay, I think this should be enough. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it. I'm going to put a plate, just a medium-sized plate, and what this does, it adds pressure on the whole pot. So push it down. If you have you're working with a bigger pot, then you can put some kind of weight. Sometimes people, they put like a cup or something, but I don't really have space for that, so I'm just gonna press it, and then cover it. I'm gonna leave it until it boils, and then I'm gonna lower the heat till maybe medium, and then low for about 1 hour to 2 hours. Okay, so we'll let this cook, and then I'll show you the final result. Okay, so it's been cooking about 45 minutes. Just want to show you what it looks like. You can see the veggies are getting tender. The fava beans are somewhat cooked. We still got a ways to go with the stuffing, the meat, and the rice. So I'm gonna put it back on for maybe about an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, so our dolma is ready. We're gonna flip it right now. It's pretty heavy and a lot of steam is coming out, so be careful when you do this. Now sometimes you want to sometimes the stuff gets stuck, like the potatoes and the vegetables, so you want to just kind of, you know, make sure nothing, and if anything gets stuck, you can always just scoop it out with a spoon. So we're going to lift it slowly. Smells really good. And this is our dolma. We have the onions, the grape leaves, green peppers, tomatoes, and our fava beans and meat. Smells really good. You can smell the spices with the vegetables and the sauce, and then the potatoes that were on the bottom of the pot. So yeah, this is the dish. This is the final dish.